About 2 years ago, I came to the United States of America, a free country, the freest country in the free world. I came here from a place where I couldn't voice my opinions, my questioning of the religion I was indoctrinated with, that taught me fear and hate from early childhood. In that world, I couldn't protest that agonizing religion that steals children and gives them intolerance and anger for food. I would be punished in that place, jailed or fined or tortured or killed. I came to the free world thinking that I could express my opinions because this is what the free world is supposed to be. How could I have known that this world is changing? I couldn't have known that such shameful changes are happening over here. I couldn't have known that the free world is meanwhile being led by cowards and hypocrites who are trying to take over society. I didn't know cowards were in power of our language, of our means of conversation, of platforms where we speak to each other and try to exchange opinions. I didn't know that the parliaments and governments of the West are filled with cowards, that the media is led by cowards, that they are trying to milk for votes and successfully advertising and glorifying cowardice, that education is given by cowards, that cowardice is now a virtue. 2 years ago, I came to America, where I can voice my opinion. 2 days ago, I was banned from Twitter for voicing my opinion. People don't seem to value what once made them free. We are giving the keys of society, of dialogue, of business, of everything in society to big, money-hungry corporations that don't know how to handle your rights and how to tell right from wrong, like Twitter or Facebook. Corporations that don't understand intellectual exchanges because all they care about is the money they acquire by making as many people as possible use these platforms. People hold their business conversations here on these platforms. Ads, hirings, gatherings. These platforms invite you. Presidents, prime ministers, official organizations, they are here. They tell you to contact them on here. But the owners of these platforms don't allow you into this society, into the new society, if you have ideas and opinions that these corporations don't like. If you have opinions that tyrannical states in not so distant and extremely unfree places fine or jail you over, or torture you or kill you for opinions, for questioning your religion. Opinions that would not only exclude you from society and force you into corners in the Islamic world, but opinions that could get you lynched. These thoughts, these brave opinions, these screams for freedom and for life, by people who are terrified to voice them in that world because they are afraid of the consequences that could come from your own family or friends or the public or the state. These opinions are silenced by cowards. Several months ago, my brand account Apostate Prophet was banned from Twitter for one simple post. It said, "Islam orders the killing of apostates, adulterers, gays, heretics, critics of Islam, etc. Islam orders to spread the religion by the sword and explicitly insults non-believers in the Quran. But Islam forbids the killing of spiders. Therefore, Islam is peace." It is very obvious that I'm pointing out that the religion, my former religion, not the people, the religion, orders and spreads atrocities against people who make basic life choices, or people who don't even have a choice. I'm complaining because my former religion orders violence and oppression, and I'm protesting. I'm standing up and saying no to violence and no to inhumanities. I'm speaking up for the oppressed and silenced people that you can find dead in the streets of that world, and Twitter silences me for that. So I switched to my personal account, but that account was banned 2 days ago without any explanation. It wasn't because I incite violence and hate. Remember, I am the one who speaks up to that. It was because I criticize an idea that holds so many people imprisoned and oppressed. I was trapped. I went through it. I was depressed. My world was falling apart. I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think and where to go. And one day, I was standing at the window on the 6th floor. And all I wanted to do was to end it all, end the suffering, avoid facing the world, and let myself fall into my death. But I decided to go a different path, and to speak up, and to help. Today I receive daily messages of people thanking me because I say what they can't say, because they are afraid for their lives and for the love of their families. I receive messages from people telling me that I helped them go through hard times, and I helped them with their doubts, with questioning their religion. I told them to stay strong and not to give up, not to despair and not to commit suicide. I told them they did nothing wrong by not believing anymore, by questioning, by mocking what they have been indoctrinated with. There are so many families who have family members who secretly believe what I believe, who secretly think what I think, but they can't voice their opinions, they can't say a word, because they are terrified. I found comfort in people sharing their own stories, in people offering their positions, offering logic, in practicing this kind of criticism, in people helping people like me, in people telling me that I did nothing wrong. We try to make progress, to help, to make positive change, to speak up, because there is a world very nearby that needs change. But Twitter doesn't like that. Twitter thinks that's bad for business. Twitter wants to shut you out forever. Because specific masses complain about your existence and your thoughts, and Twitter is afraid of losing them and offending them. They would rather have people die in silence. Yes, I know, these are private companies. Twitter is a private company. They can accept and reject whomever they want and whatever they want. And I'm so sure people would say the same thing if Twitter banned people for being Muslim, for advocating Islam, for being gay and making fierce pride posts, for being disabled and telling people that they are not disadvantaged, for being black and expressing that your skin color was not something to be ashamed, but something to be happy about. Let's not lie about it. Let's face it. You are hugging this culture that I came from and milking them. You are hugging my kind and cuddling my kind. You are treating people who come from my culture like babies who shouldn't face criticism because they don't understand and because they can't handle it. You give them favors, you sell them your products, and you save them from scrutiny. You tell them sweet lies, not because of their skin color and their religion, their culture, their sensitive sentiments, not because you care so much. You do that because you are cowards. And as someone who comes back from that culture, to you, I'm telling you that you are cowards, that you are hypocrites, cowards. In your struggle to give comfort to this culture that was your neighbor and that you are hosting today, in your efforts to embrace them and to include them, and to take their workforce and their money, you ban and try to silence people who don't agree with your deceitfulness, who are oppressed in that world. You are rejecting and silencing desperate voices of ex-Muslims, of gay people, of women, of Christians and Jews, of Hindus and atheists, and even other Muslims, because of your hunger for money and fame, and because of your false virtue. When will everyone understand that they won't stop at anyone until they arrive at the most moderate voices in their crusade of banning everyone that they label a radical or an outcast? How far will these companies go in silencing people until everyone realizes that this is probably not the right way to go? I want you to remember the Enlightenment. I want you to remember history, to remember that freedom, that free speech made the West this great place that people from less free places are fleeing to in masses. By valuing freedom, you will keep being this place. By killing free speech, you will kill everything and everyone. And you will be the ones fleeing, because your world will turn into the world they are fleeing from right now. You are creating a monster. We are creating a monster, and I hope you realize that before it is too late. In solidarity with all those who have been attacked and silenced for having an opinion, you are much greater, much bigger than these platforms. To these corporations, one thing's for sure. I'm not gonna cry about being silenced and about censorship. I won't be silenced. I will be louder and fiercer, and I will fight you. I'm not resisting and defying you. You don't have power over me. You can't silence me. I'm calling you out for what you are. Money-hungry cowards. And all political cowards who help them. And all the cowards who feed them. To all those who choose to listen to me like a human listens to another human. I will say my last words, my opinion again, and I'll insist. Stay strong and stay away from Islam. Thank you.